Hi everybody, this is Darlene. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. Today we're going to do a card with the Celebrate Sunflowers. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. And then of course when I saw a lot of samples on Pinterest and such and other demonstrators, I fell in love with it even more. Anyways, I am going to show you a few different ideas, and we are going to also make a card. First off, I want to show you where we can find this in the catalog. So in the catalog, you can see it on, this is our 2020 and 2021, that's right. Anyways, you can find it on page 13. It's right here. You can get it as a bundle, and it has die cuts to cut these all out. Everything here that is in the blue color has a die cut. If you don't know where to find that, it actually tells you right here. It says sunflower dies on page 175. Also down here, coordinate with sunflower dies, page 175. So if you go to 175, it'll show you the dies. I will show you them here. These are the dies. I have them on a little magnetic sheet just to keep them more stable and easier to pull off and on than with the double-sided tape that it comes with in there. So you can see it a little bit better. I have die cut them all out and put them on this sheet here. So this obviously is a die cut that's going to have a very detailed cut. It will cut the flower out completely with all the petals, which is beautiful. This one here actually cuts the flower out on the outside. So after you stamp it, you can just cut it out without having to fussy cut it. This is for the flower. Let's just put that there. That's for the flower here, the little one. This is for this leaf, and these little ones here actually cut those. And then as you can see, you get some bonus ones in the die cuts. So you get this detailed leaf, which you could layer on top of that, which would look beautiful, or just die cut it yourself, like all by itself. And then also these two little sprigs of leaves. Oh, sorry, and that one there is for the center. I actually haven't used this yet, but I will, and we'll have to do another video and show you then. So the card that we're going to do today is going to be very similar to this one here, only we're going to be using different colors. I will first show you how to line up the die when you're going to cut it out. That's one of the questions I've gotten from some customers that just was having trouble lining it up. So first off, let's do that. I have a piece of scrap paper here. Oops. I have my stamp and a piece of scrap paper. So one of the things that I do when I have got my stamp mounted onto the cling back is, if you can see, I have a tiny little dark mark right there. I find some petals that are maybe a little bit different than the rest. Instead of going straight out, these ones start to curve down. There's, I think, 3 of them there that are all curving downwards. So that's where I decided to put my dot, if you want to call it. It really is up to you, wherever you think is easiest for you. So then we're going to stamp or ink it. I'm using Memento black ink, and then when I stamp it, I kind of really want to be conscious of where that little line is, or dot, so that I can line up my die to go over top of it. This is just a scrap piece of paper, so it doesn't really matter at all where we put it. Ooh, beautiful, isn't it? It's got so much detail in it. I absolutely love it. I'm just going to clean that off real quick. And if you do not have the chamois yet, look, it's very well loved. You do need to get it. It doesn't come with this case, but this is just a small standard case that you can get. I think they're 3 for, I'm not actually sure, but it's not expensive at all. It's a very economical, as well as you can use them for a lot of different things. So it's just wet. As you can see, I haven't even used this side yet. And all you do is run it under water, get it wet, you rinse it out. And that it does stain, but it, as you can see, it totally cleans your stamp off. Absolutely love that. It must have. So let's get on to, we're going to be cutting out that sunflower. So here is the die to do the cutout of it. First off, let's show you. This is the detailed one, and as I had said, this is what you'll use if you were going to be putting an overlay over top, or if you wanted to cut that out completely. So you might not be able to see it. I told you I cut it. Actually, I think my little dot's gone, but my dot with my leaves starting to curve down. Actually, let's pull in my magnetic platform. It's much easier. So here's my magnetic platform. And I should actually give you a little hint of this. If you start this with brand new plates, I wanted to show you that if your plate moves, if you can, I don't know if you can see that, if it moves at all like that, if it goes down, then you flip it over. You don't ever switch your plates from the top and the bottom. This is always my bottom plate, and the other one that I have is completely clear, and it is always going to be my top plate. I found that saves them from warping so much. I just learned that not long ago. Somebody gave me a hint, and so far it has worked really good. I've probably had these plates, and I've been cutting with them for 6 months. Anyway, so as you can see, if you wanted to cut it out completely, there was my dot. That's the curved little petals that are going down. And if I was to cut it out completely with that, this is what you would have. I'm only telling you that because I didn't mean to do this. I just thought, oh yeah, and I used the wrong die, and I cut it out completely. So we're not going to use that. And we are going to use this one. Now this one I did have a little pink mark on there. Not sure if you can see that, but again, these are the petals that are going downwards. So we're going to line that up over here, and then just slightly slide that over a little bit, and there. Put your other plate on. Well, I guess my piece of paper is a little bit big. We're not going to actually cut it today because I already cut one out, but you're going to put your other plate on top of it and run it through your cutting machine, die cutting machine. So for the comfort of this video, you're not going to want to watch me do a ton of coloring. So I'll just show you. Today we're actually going to do our sunflower in blues. So I'm going to be coloring it with my blends, and we're going to use Night of Navy, light and dark, and then we actually, for the center, we're going to be using some crumb cake and what's this other one, soft suede. So I like to start when I'm using my blends with the light one, because I'm going to be using both light and dark for these petals. I'm only going to do a few at a time just so that the ink doesn't completely dry and I can still blend them. So I'm going to use the bullet end this time just at the edges so that I don't go out of line too much. So I'm going to just, as I said, pick 3 or 4 petals and come down, and then for me, just because I like it, I'm going to switch over to the other one. And as you can see, there is actually, color. There's no certain direction. You can do swirls. None of those things really matter in this case. So then I'm going to take the dark one, and I usually like to just go over top of maybe where the lines are. It's always a little bit darker at the edge or at the center. That's basically what I do. And if it is too liney, or if you can't take it off, but I'll just blend it a little bit more. Now that is going to get lighter as it dries, but that's basically what I'll do. We'll do a few more, And then I'll start and show you what I did with the center. Ooh, I'm using the other end here, trying to be careful. Went out of line there a little bit, but that's okay. It is handmade, and it won't wreck it at all anyways. So there, and then we'll take this, and this time maybe we won't put quite so many. There, let's just leave it like that this time. So, I actually kind of like it just like that. Sometimes if it doesn't, but as I said, it will dry a little bit lighter as well. So for the center of the flower, I want to do, when I saw some online and way other people did it, is the center of it is quite dark, but I like to start with my lighter pens. So I'm going to just color the whole thing with, this is Crumb Cake Light. And as I had said to you before, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. So, well, in my world, there might be, and I just don't know how to do it, right or wrong. But, and then I'm going to take the dark crumb cake, and I'm just going to kind of go around the outside edge with it. That's pretty simple. And then I'm going to take my soft suede light, and I want to do the middle with it because that might not be even dark enough. Let's grab the dark. Let's see what we think of that. And then, so that it's not so, I want to blend it more, so I'm going to take my light one again that I started with, and literally just go over top of it like that. Okay, let's just do a couple more of these just because I want to show you what else I did when it was completely finished. Okay, I'm putting a couple more little dark lines in. That's good. Okay, so what I did do actually is I took my crumb cake dark when I was completely finished coloring it, and I went like this all around the outside edge, just, and I found that it just kind of gave it another little depth of darkness there, to be honest with you, because this was still wet a bit. It did bring up a little bit of yellowy color. So anyways, so you don't want to see me watch me color this whole thing, so I am going to voila, just switch it over, and this is what it looked like when I was finished. I was quite happy with it. So let's put those aside and let's build our card. So something that I wanted to do with mine, or if you might have noticed with the other card, is we did a whitewash in the back. A whitewash is basically just had added a little bit of color. That one, that sunflower was yellow, so I did it with crumb cake. This one is blue, so I thought that we would do it with a lighter blue color. And I was thinking of Seaside Spray because, oh, I love that color. Anyways, and you can make it darker if you want it. So how you get color, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can get the re-inker and actually put some re-inker on a block or in a bowl or on the lid of this, or you can close this and squeeze it really hard. Somebody told me it seems to work better when you squeeze it like that. Let's just see here. Pull. Oh, I must have got, there we go. See, now we got some ink there, and that's going to be our palette. So all I'm going to do is we have some brand new aqua painters, or I don't know what they're called in the book. It's not aqua painter. Water painters, maybe it is. Anyways, I like to put it on my hand a little bit just to see that it is wet, but not seeping wet, like tons of water coming out. Especially with this is just a regular cardstock as in our Whisper White. Okay, so we'll just literally go across it with water and with the blues. And I know it might look like nothing right now, and because it's just the regular Whisper White, you don't want to use a ton of water. And how you clean it is you literally just squeeze a little bit, you go like this, and that takes all the ink out of it, and it's ready to use for another color. So that we're just going to put aside. Actually, I'm going to dry it so we can go on. Excuse the noise. I'm just going to use my heat gun for a moment. As you can see, all I'm doing is just going over top of it. All I wanted was a little bit of color in the back, that's all. So that's why we did that. It just seemed a little too stark for me. Okay, so just like the other one, we are going to be putting a piece of DSP on the bottom. Now this DSP is from the pack that is the In Good Taste DSP, Designer Series paper. I absolutely love it. It is designed by taking pictures of actual wood floors and carpeting and tiles and plaster and everything like that, as we can see on the other side. This one actually, you can't really tell, but it looks kind of like a tile. But I liked the blue in it, and I don't know, it just seemed to work for me. So we are going to use that. And I'm just going to get my multi-purpose glue out here. That's my favorite adhesive, except for when that happens. Let me just get my paper towel here. And there. Wipe that off. Brand new, that's why. Okay, so we don't really need very much of it. There. And we're just going to put it down, not completely at the bottom, but the bottom-ish. I'll put this on top of there so you can see better instead of on the white. And then we are going to stamp it with some words. I have decided, I mean, we could do, let's celebrate you. Let's see my, or I kind of decided, I think, know that you are loved. It's just a little bit smaller in the corner, and I think that's the one I'm going to use. I am going to do it in Night of Navy. So, if you've noticed, I ink my stamps up like that. That's just how I was taught, and I just have always done it that way. So, easy peasy, straight down, hold it for a moment, straight up. Perfect. Let's close that so that I don't put my finger in it. Oh yes, I forgot. I thought that another thing that you can do now these are very old rhinestones. I had a ton of them, and so I'm going to use them up before I get the new ones. They're exactly the same. They just don't have the same format, so they don't have all these little ones that are actually stuck together anymore, but like I said, it's the same thing. So I wanted to have something blue, and I didn't have anything blue for bling, let's say, or designer or decorating or whatever. As you can see, these ones are black, and that's because they were painted with a Sharpie. I am going to just color a few of these with my blends. It's the dark Night of Navy, and we're going to just put that aside and let it dry. Okay, let's bring that card back in. Now, I also changed up my mind from the other card, which I'll bring back in here, that these are the stamps of the leaves that are in the set, and instead I decided to just do the die cut with this. Now these die cuts are done in the color, oh, I think it was Mossy Meadow, yes. And so how I like to do it when I'm going to put those on is put some glue on the end, and there's not a lot of room here, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be on the back of the flower. There we go. Just put some glue on there. And then that's what the back looks like when you use blends. It does go through. Kind of just, yeah, okay. I think I want 2 of those, so let's put some more glue on this one. Perfect. There. Now this flower is not directional. In other words, you can put it anyway, but for me, I kind of see where these little petals here are going upwards. Well, that one's going upwards and these ones are being lifted. It makes me feel like that's going up. When you turn it over, it kind of looks like it's looking down. For me, that's what it looks like. So that I am going to make sure that I have those little petals more near the bottom, or you know, like this. I'm going to do it like that. And I think that's good for now. So what I also wanted to do is put some twine on there. So how you do the little twirls of twine, as in this card here, you can see, I will put a piece of, well, when we had snail, I would use snail. Now I'm going to be using tear and tape. And I just take a little piece of it. And again, I'm just kind of placing where that flower is going to be. So I'll put it there. And then you take your twine and you basically just loop it around. And I am going to make sure that I have, it's coming down far enough so that you can see it. There's no right or wrong way with this, and you can always lift it up and move it a little bit more if you want. Let's see here. I think that is going to be good. Oh. We're going to put some pop dots on the back of this. Give it a little bit of dimension. I will remind you that this is a brand new one, so there's a whole bunch in there, but this is totally still usable. You can, I like to cut it, but you can also tear it. Just, I go around it like that, and I'll pull that off, and as I said, it is still usable. Do not throw away this part because you don't have any more of the perfect little center ones, okay? Because that would be a waste. So I was wondering, I did cut out these other, there, we'll put that there. I did cut these out, not sure if I wanted to use them, but maybe they would look pretty. Oh, come on, fingers. Down at the bottom, kind of like that. I actually like that. So before I stick this down, I am going to put some glue on the bottom few leaves of these. Actually, let's put them on the back. Ooh, boy, glue is so new, it's just coming out like way too fast for me. Okay, that should be good. Let's just stick that down there. There we go. And yeah, some glue on here. That should be good. We're going to do the same thing with that one. Boy, oh boy, must have glue on my fingers. And we're going to peel the little dots off of here. Dots, I mean the backing of our pop dots. And let's see here. I think that looks pretty good. That kind of looks like it's framing that. Everything's still facing up, push down. Perfect. Well, I'm not positive these are dry yet, but let's give it a try and see. I'm going to use my Pica tool and just slide underneath that a little bit. Maybe. Boy, there we go. It was stuck on there really well. There we go. They do seem to be dry already. That's good. And let's see, where else can we put one? Oh, maybe up there. And we'll take one of these smaller ones that oh, that's the back one. Don't want that. That I used. Can't really see it there, so maybe up there. Oh, that's good. So now you can really see how blue those are, and they blend in, or not blend in, but make it blend together more than when they were just sparkle. And I know that there's not a lot in the background, but there's a little bit of blue. It just doesn't, it's not as scarce. I probably could have brought it over a little bit, but on the fly here, you know. So I did also cut another piece of this DSP, and I thought it would be nice just to line it on the inside. So we'll do that real quick before I show you my other cards. There. There we go. There. And then that's not so, oh boy, I must not push that one down because it's sticking to my finger, but not to my card here. There we go. So that's it. That is my card for today. I actually really like it. You see you see yellow sunflowers all the time, but I can't say I've seen a blue one before, but I still think it looks very, very pretty. So that's that one. We'll put that there. And then, oh, excuse me. Oh, usually there's 3. I was waiting for that last one. And as I said, this is where we got our ideas from the other one that I've made. Same idea. Change the side that the flower goes on, different DSP. Obviously, the flower is a different color. But other than that, you know, it's very, very similar. Same words. And then I'm just going to show you some other cards that I have done with that. I did start originally, which I love, is I stamped this one here in pumpkin pie, and then I watercolored it actually with pumpkin pie and crushed curry. And because it was stamped with pumpkin pie, you don't have the distinct lines as much. You can see some of them right in here, but when you use a watercolor on top of it, because it's done on watercolor paper, it blends the other ink, the pumpkin pie. But anyways, then I did cut out that detailed one, and I just lined it up exactly on top and put that on there. Again, very much so, different words, background, other than that. And then I did it with yellow. Well, it's not yellow, but I stamped it with the Memento ink, or actually with StazOn, and then I watercolored it as well. It's on watercolor paper, and then I put this on over top. Again, the background's a little bit darker than all the rest, different words in dark. I mean, it really changed up the card, I think. And now these two are very different. Now, how I came about this one is I actually colored my flower completely, as I was saying to you earlier, and I was really liking it. Again, I colored it with the pumpkin pie and crushed curry, excuse me. And then I put it through and I grabbed the wrong die. So I actually detailed cut it out, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, I just wrecked it, obviously. And then I thought, well, let's see if we can use it, because I thought this looked really pretty still. Just like the black and white one that I showed you earlier that I did it again with. I'm going to make a card with it with grays. Oh, here it is. With the grays and blacks and stuff. I'll sponge this so it's a little bit darker and more solid. And I'm going to make something with that, because there's no such thing. Yes, there's a mistake, but you can always bounce back and make something with it. So that's that card there. I actually I think it turned out beautifully. Now I did pop dot this part on too, and as you can see, it's a little higher than the actual flower, and I didn't line it up completely on purpose. I just lined it up and then I turned it a little bit. That's just what I wanted it to do. And last but not least, I totally cased this off of Pinterest, but I just thought, again, it was a beautiful, beautiful card. I'm not sure that you can see all the shine and everything on there, but this is gold embossed, very simple card. And then this here is the same as these, where I did the detailed die cut. I put it on and then put this on. I mean, totally, somebody's getting this in the mail tomorrow. Anyways, it's a totally fabulous card. I loved the idea, and I wanted to just change the flower up a little bit rather than always being a sunflower as in yellow. So those are my ideas for this. I hope you liked them. And if you are interested in anything that I've done today, any questions, interested in purchasing anything, if you do live in Canada, then please give me a shout. My name again is Darlene Donahue. You can find me on darlened.stampinup.net. You can do an online order, but if it is not over $100, please let me know, because then I can save you on your shipping. And I do have a Facebook site, Double D Stamping Up Designs. If you do go to the darlened.stampinup.net, that is where you'll find my phone number and my email address and everything. So I hope that you enjoyed that, as I already said, and have a fabulous day and happy stamping. Take care, everybody.